Everybody, thanks for watching. A couple things I want to address real quick before I get into this video. First, you already know Meditation Volume 2 is out, as well as Personal Economics Part 3. And the sale is going on still for the now 35 DVD digital downloads. It was 33, now it's 35. And that sale will be going on until Monday, and it will go to its original price. Trust me, finally this time. So grab it if you can. The price will be $349.99, so you want to get it if you can now. Also, you have as much time as you need to download the digital downloads. If you bought it for $89.99 when it was $33, it's now $35. If you still need more time, you can request as much time as you need to download. The links do expire, but all you have to do is go back to the site or click on the link and you can request more time, or just shoot an email to my email address and you'll get a new link. So you also need to make sure you have at least 60 to 70 gigs available of space. You're talking about 2-hour long HD videos, so they're huge in file size. So make sure you got enough space, but also keep in mind that if you don't, and you need to get external hard drive later, or you want to put them on a flash drive, you have as much time as you need to actually download. So, a lot of people send messages about the links expiring. You got as much time, and when you purchase, just a lot of people don't read the description. It tells you have as much time as you need. Also, I recommend using Chrome to download. I know it works well. And VLC player to play back the videos if you're having problems. And I'll provide you with that link as well if you order them all. So, it shouldn't be too much confusion. A lot of people was having trouble with that. You have as much time as you need to download. The links expire, but you can request more time. Also, you have a few people who, this is one of the issues you face when you do business. You have people who like to scam. So I have a few people who basically end up buying all of the digital downloads, but then they go and report to their bank that it's an unauthorized transaction and try to get their money back after they download all the videos. And yeah, people actually do that. It happens quite often. So, PayPal doesn't pay out. They end up, not getting their money back. But I just want to put that out there to the people who did that, who who you are. And I don't got time to ban you right now from YouTube, but you know who you are. That's corny, doing stuff like that. But this is what I was talking about in personal economics, the stuff you face in business, and you just deal with that. You're going to always have, people who attack you and customers who are not completely satisfied for whatever reason. I also had, somebody chew me out about the DVDs. Got all the DVDs. The DVDs came, and he only seen one. He didn't move the cover. If he bought the DVDs, if you move the cover, the other DVD is right there. Some of them have two, some of them have one. So this person went crazy, called me all kinds of names and scam artists and everything like that, just to find out later on all the DVDs are there. Everything he ordered was there, and he apologized. At least he apologized. But these are the things you face in business when you do things. I only have this problem for some reason with the digital downloads and the DVDs. Any other business that I have as far as electronics and things that I sell, it's never an issue. So when you do something like this and it's kind of sort of interacting with people, we go through stuff like this. And it's one of the things that we as black folks got to stop doing, is treating each other like crap because one person is in the business of selling something and you are a buyer, and people think because you're selling, they need to somehow put you under their foot. And they look at you differently because you're selling. So one of the things you'll face. So it's one of the things you got to really, just be mindful of in business, and understand there's some dickheads out there. Also, I talked about net neutrality and how it's ending, and how a lot of people, including myself, may be affected by that. So, eventually your ISP, your internet service provider, as well as mine and whoever's could, cut off my site, cut the bandwidth to my site or to the digital downloads or anything like that. That could possibly happen. My YouTube channel could be taken down. Who knows what they're going to do once this stuff takes effect. So a lot of people have been getting the DVDs and getting it out the way, just in case you won't be able to get the stuff anymore. I don't know what's going to happen. So that's another thing to think about. But anybody that's waiting, trust me, your DVDs will be shipped no matter what. And, we'll see what happens with this whole thing. But in the meantime, the site is up and everything is still going fine. But I just wanted to really touch on those real quick. Trust me, I kept the sale going as long as I could. I still added the 2 videos to it, but it will for sure end come Monday and go to the original price. Thanks to everybody who took the time to purchase and support, and I really appreciate it. But I want to get into this video because a lot of people had questions about meditation at the part 2 that I put out. And a lot of people asked the question, and it's just crazy. So many people ask the same question over and over. If you actually watch the series on meditation, I pretty much answered it. But there's a couple of things I want to touch on more. And the thing is, how do you know is meditation working? What is the point, the purpose of meditation? So now, there's a lot of videos out there on meditation. There's a lot of information out there. The thing is, a lot of people are not asking the right questions. And the big question is, how do you know is meditation working? A lot of people always ask that question, but the question they should be asking is, what is the purpose of meditation? What is the true purpose? Like, what is it meant to do for us? And a lot of people are confused once they get into meditation as to what to do. And we touched on this in part 2. Now, the thing is, 1, meditation is about programming your mind, programming your subconscious to allow your consciousness to walk in the path that you chose for it. So what's happening, what's taking place is we are not programming ourselves to do what we want to do. We have this system that is programming us to get us to do what it wants us to do. And that's what we're walking in right now. We are walking in the programming instead of using the programming that we put into ourselves to accomplish what we want to accomplish in life. So since they understand we are not programming ourselves with meditation, they're going to program us, for us. So with meditation, what you want to look for as far as if you're doing any research outside of anything that I put out is, how is it going to affect you? What is the true purpose of it? And what kind of answers people are giving you in that regard? And about how can you know if it's working for you? Well, you're going to know by the change in your life. If your life is changing for the better, if you are more coordinated, if you are changing in your ways. And that's one of the things that you are going into meditation to help you fix. So once you go into meditation, as I talk about, you dealing with your personal problems, the things that bother you that come up in meditation. Most people don't like to sit and think because when they do so, they're dwelling on their problems. A lot of problems come up. So, if you have issues, if you have troubles in life, once you start really thinking, that is what comes up. The problems you have, if you're going to be late on rent, if you're going to be late on bills, that's what you worry about. You worry about those things. It's one of the reasons, as I said, I put out personal economics to get people to be more financially stable. So it will help them in meditation. They can relax more. They can now move on to different things as far as, progressing and, healing themselves. So that's one of the main reasons how you're going to know it's working for you. A lot of people have these spooky hocus pocus things that they expect to get from meditation, superpowers and everything like that. But it's just not logical. You need to understand the true purpose of it and how it's going to benefit you and help you and what you need to do it, what you need to use it for. And that's to program yourself, We program so many different things to work for us in the future. Now, I talked about how you program in TVs or, we used to program VCRs back in the day. Remember, you do that for something to happen for you in the future. You want to watch it later, you program it. As well, we program ourselves in school to learn. We go to school, you have to study. When you're studying, you're programming your brain to remember exactly what you're reading off the paper. To remember those test questions, to remember the answers to those questions. You program your mind so when you go and take the test, you know the answers. It's the same thing when you rehearse, dance rehearsals, recitals, songs, music, or what have you. You are studying. You are programming your mind to dance a certain way, to move a certain way, to be a certain way. So when you look at all those aspects in life, going to school, learning, and getting an education and a degree so you can later get a job. So while you in the school process, you're basically programming your body, your mind to later join the workforce and do something. So it's the same thing with your life. If you're not programming yourself, your subconscious mind, to help your consciousness move you in the right direction, you are only taking in the programming that they put out. And a lot of people are not putting that all together, to see why they're giving us programming and why it seems as if everything we see on TV, all the trends, everything people do seems to follow what mainstream media puts out. And the reason why that is so is because they are programming us, because we are not programming ourselves. A lot of people remember back in the day they had self-help tapes. They still got them out today, as a matter of fact. But you had these audio tapes that people would listen to when they go to sleep to help them lose weight or to help them be better in business or better in speaking in front of people and things like that. You have people like Tony Robbins and so many of these new motivational speakers that are out there motivating people. And what they're doing is putting, inspiration in you, but it's really programming. When we think about inspiration, it's something inspiring you. Inspiration is an emotion. It's a feeling that you get. It's an energy that lingers. And, when it's time for you to use it, whatever that inspiration is pertaining to, it kicks in. It's there. You remember, you're inspired by that event or, whatever it is that you saw to be great or to be better at whatever you're trying to do. So it's a programming. And it's the same way with meditation on you inspiring yourself, you programming yourself to walk the path, to follow the goal. So in meditation, what you should be doing is exactly that, setting your goal, visualizing what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. It's just that simple. So you have to think about it. If you're trying to do something, if you want a new house, a car, or you're trying to, be successful, how are you going to do that? What are the steps that you need to take to do that? Now, if you are not visualizing that and programming that in your mind, who is? Who is? And the reason why we're not reaching our goals is because we're not doing that. And we are getting bombarded with a bunch of other stuff that is programming our mind instead of exactly what we want. So this is one of the reasons why people think they want to be a rapper or a singer or in entertainment. It's because that's what they're getting programmed with. And we are following that programming instead of the programming we want for ourselves, which for the most part, people want to be successful. And this is what they're doing. And it's a trap. It's a farce to be programmed with something that deep down you really don't want to be a part of. So in meditation, again, this is what you need to be focusing on, exactly what you need to be doing and how to get, to these points and reach these goals in order for you to fulfill any dreams or goals or any kind of success that you want to have. So if you want these things to manifest, you have to make them. You have to, come up with very real plans and goals that you can accomplish and set them as steps and follow them. And if you're not programming yourself to do that, it's just not going to happen. It's wishing, it's wishful thinking when you just think about something that you want, but you don't put the actual action into it. So with meditation, normally when you're going out with no meditation, it's a lot of things, a lot of opportunities that you probably miss or are not conscious of because you are not programmed to follow those routes. So, we see with successful people, they just continue to be more successful because that's what their mind is focused on. They're more immersed into the business world. And when they see opportunities, they jump onto it because they program themselves to be that way. Now, I have been witnessing that over the years now. I've been more and more successful as I go along, but I have been programming myself and training myself to move into different areas of business and to just focus on that. Anybody who knows me will tell you I'm a workaholic. I'm always moving towards the next goal and doing the next thing until I reach, where I want to reach. But at the same time, because I've put in so much work and have accumulated, so much money, I'm able to still do what I want to do. I have my time frame, my time periods where I work and my times when I, go chill. So it's a balance, and it's about you understanding that balance and programming yourself to actually walk in it instead of walking in the programming that was designed for you to fail. Now you hear a lot of people talking about God's plan. If you remember from church, it's always about God's plan that he has for you. And when you start to understand the parable and what it's really talking about, God's plan is your plan. What is your plan? The plan you need to follow for yourself. No one is creating some plan for you to follow that's going to benefit you. That's not you. So in other words, nobody has your best interests at heart but you. Truly, you're the only ones who really care about yourselves. So if you're not caring about yourself and taking that initiative to basically set goals for yourself, I mean, who is going to do it for you? You're going to end up like everybody else, hoping to get to success when, if you plan for it, you have a better chance of doing so. And again, with meditation, you are basically doing just that, programming yourself to walk in that plan that you set for yourself. So with meditation, if you're doing it daily, what you are doing is you are constantly programming yourself to be successful, to follow those steps. And, you put together that plan, a possible plan and things you need to do. And, by you attracting those frequencies, I talked about this in energy and frequency DVDs about being, in tune to certain frequencies and having stuff, basically, resonating with what you want. And when you resonating and putting out that frequency, that energy of something that you want, you attract it. So it's basically the same with meditation. You putting that information out there, you putting that energy out there and attracting what you want and training your subconscious mind to allow your consciousness to make sure that you consciously move in that right direction towards those frequencies and not away from them, and not get confused and caught up in everything else that's going to cause you to move away from the direction that you want to go, because that's what's going on. You hear so many people all the time. I mean, even if you just take it back to the church level, what happens? Everybody go to church, the preacher give a banging ass sermon, church-wise, and it sounds good. But then we go back outside and what? Go completely against the Bible. Go completely against everything he said. Because, it's not really instilled in us, but, once a week when you go to church, you hear that word and people go to church and they act like they are those people, but they pretending, They are really more controlled by the programming of this system than of the church, which is why there are truly no Christians, because the programming is coming more from mainstream media than from their Bible and their pastor. And when you have that much constant programming daily, you're going to see what manifests, and we are seeing it in the Black community and what have you. So again, you should want to take charge of your subconscious, yourself, rather than have yourself be programmed. And let me keep it real with you. You have no choice. And you may sit there and think, that they can't affect you. They're programming you now. You're constantly getting programmed. And for people, this is why we say conscious. The people who are conscious of it are fine. You'll be okay because you're aware of what's taking place. For people who are not, they are going with the trends. And this is what happens with everybody. As soon as a new trend comes out, everybody's on the bandwagon. Everybody's following what everybody else is doing because, it's cool or it's a trend or it's in. And why dedicate so much time and energy to something that's not going to benefit you? In no way. Why put so much time into something, a trend, or something that people is following that's not going to benefit you, rather than follow the plan, the goal that you want for yourself? So all the time and effort a lot of people putting into certain things, they could be putting into stuff that's really going to help them out and benefit them in life. So we have to really get our minds off of TV magic and really understand that the magic that they're talking to is the very real magic that is the law of attraction. You attracting what you want to yourself. And it's not going to be no hocus pocus crazy stuff that's going to happen. You're going to accomplish very real things, and it's going to seem very normal, to you. And, for some people, it's, this is why people call it, miracles. And a lot of people get more immersed in religion when they have things good happen for them, because it just seems, unreal. And when you are at a certain point and you think it's hopeless and then something good happened, this is the only place people can turn to, but they don't realize that they have focused so much energy. Prayer is meditation. They focus so much time and energy into putting out that energy, that frequency to what they want. They end up getting it. So it's the same thing with meditation, but it's better when you are constantly, consistently programming yourself to be mindful of what you want and where you want to go. And you'll notice through meditation, one of the ways, again, how you'll know it works is because you'll change what you have been doing, the way you have been doing things, and you are still clear of things that you see is not a part of your plan, plain and simple. So it's not the same thing as you just saying to yourself, I want to do this and going out and do it. Because we all know that doesn't happen. It just doesn't work like that all the time, especially for something as complicated as, reaching a goal or dream. You have to be mindful. There are very real complicated steps and things that you have to do to reach something that's worth putting on your goal sheet. So it's not going to be as easy as saying, I want to do this, and then just going out and do it. If you are not setting and preparing yourself for the steps that you have to take in order to get it. So, I really wanted to touch on this and really get you guys to understand that, with meditation, you're going to read about a lot of stuff. You're going to see a lot of things pertaining to chakras and everything like that. There are levels to it. You hear that all the time. There are levels to this. If you can't get the physical, and that's what all of this really is about. It's Malakuf. It's the physical, the bottom, your first chakra. Is what you are dealing with. So when I'm talking about money and success and everything like that, we talking about you basically getting through this first stage of the first 3 chakras, you might as well say, and really dealing with the material. Because since they understand, when you start to get into this, you understand what Malakuf and what the lower brain and what all this materialism is about. It's about exactly that. You mastering the material. Which is, one, you being in the position where you are stable enough to not have to want for material. Again, it goes into Buddhism, as I talked about suffering. When you want, you suffer. So while you sit up there wanting this car, wanting this job, or wanting to do this and do that, you are creating suffering within yourself. So why would you want to deal with the want, the pain of wanting something, and not put yourself through a process where you can train yourself to go out and get it? To have it. So this is what you're dealing with. So once you get through that level of the material, you can start to move on to higher, more spiritual, better things. But as I talked about, in the series, and same thing as personal economics as well, about taking care of that first. It's just the first stage in this physical existence that we have to deal with, and it's something that we can't get around. It's us dealing with the materialistic world. And I kept it real with you guys. I told y'all, you can go out there and try to go live like the monks if you want. You can't do it. You have been born in this materialistic society, and you have to adapt to it. This is one of the things we have been brilliant at, and that is adapting to what's going on. So now you have to understand how to balance, because that's what it's technically all about, is balancing the spiritual and the material. There has to be a balance. And it's where I differ at with the monks, as far as everything being about material, and being about spirituality and not dealing with the material. The monks, they all spiritual. They have no attachments to anything. They don't deal with anything physical. The only thing they have is their pot and their bowl. That's all they have. And it's nothing else, So it's them immersing themselves in the spiritual part of it, but you need the material part as well when you understand the metaphor of Genesis, which I touched on. So, when you get that and you understand that there's a balance between the physical and the spiritual, and that you must control that balance in order to move forward, then you understand the ground, ground one, the beginning, starts with meditation. And this is why it's important. And this is why a lot of people are not getting to where they want to be at, because they are not meditating and they are not programming themselves to go to where they want to go at. Therefore, they are falling victim to the program. And we've all seen it. We've seen it our whole lives. Why is it the same hood in Detroit? It's the same way as the hood in Philly, in Chicago, in California, in Florida. Why it's black people all over the world, all over the country, doing the exact same thing, falling victim to the same exact situations as far as kids and welfare and, incarceration and all kinds of stuff like that, selling drugs and everything that we do, killing each other, what have you. Why is it the same everywhere? Because we are getting programmed by the same exact thing, and that is this hip-hop culture, as I always talk about. If you are not programming yourself, they are programming you, and you are going where they want you to go and not where you want to go. So one of my favorite quotes of all time is, if you're not willing to work hard for it, don't complain about not having it. That is so true. We complain about so much, but very few people is willing to actually put in the actual physical work, the struggle, the sacrifice to get to where they want to be, to get what they want. And that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. So a lot of people, when they get into meditation, when they're putting together these plans to be successful, they can't go too far because they are not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to save money. They're not willing to not buy those sneakers or go to the club or do this or do that. They're not really willing to do it. A lot of times when you deal with something personally, when it's just you in the mirror, we cheat ourselves. And that's what happens. A lot of people cheat themselves. It's just you going through that diet phase. You cheating yourself by eating that donut. It's just you working out. You cheating yourself by not doing as many reps. A lot of people cheat themselves when there's personal gain that they have to do that. They have to face on their own. When it's just you that have to do this, we cheat ourselves. And this is one of the things you have to stop doing. You read in a book, you cheat yourself by not finishing that chapter. And this is why people can't get through the Bible. It's too many pages to read, too much stuff. So they cheat themselves and they act like they read it when they know they ain't really read the whole goddamn chapter. It's the same thing. We follow the same trends in life. We cheat ourselves out of so much. And you're not going to get nowhere cheating yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Put the work in. If you're not going to work hard for it, don't complain about not having it. Now, when you get to that personal level and you look in the mirror and it's just you know what you did and didn't do. So a lot of people out here frauding and complaining about where they are in life, but look in the mirror, you know what you didn't do. You know you didn't work hard enough. You know you didn't put that time and money and that effort in. You didn't invest in yourself. You didn't believe in yourself. You had doubt. You had fear. You had worry. So it's you. And I talked about this in a DVD about demons and what they really are. It's you. The only demon that's going to hold you back is yourself. Plain and simple. Nobody can cast any negative energy on you that you can't dispel on your own. Plain and simple. It's all about you, your aura, your energy, what you're bringing into yourself and what you're putting out. And if you are programming yourself correctly, your energy as well, you're good to go. You're good to go. As I said, I know where I'm at as far as energy, meditation, where I'm at spiritually. So, a lot of people look at what I do in my life, people who don't know me, and they judge and they think that, it's something more to what I speak about as far as some kind of hidden agenda. Anybody who follows me in truth and really watches all the videos, you know how deep I go and how I destroy everything that I touch as far as information, and nobody messes with me on those levels. So when you understand what this stuff is about, what they have effectively done to us and the power that they are using and how they're using it, you can use it for yourself. You understand what they're doing. So this is what I have done. And I have become very successful so far. And basically understanding what they're doing and using it for myself without having to deal with them. So this is what I put out there. Not, clean cut as I want to, because, I just can't do that. But I put it out there enough for you guys to get this information. If you're really watching the videos and really paying attention and taking notes, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. I want you guys to be more successful than me. I want you to have more money than me, to be doing way better than me. That's what I want. That's what's up. So everybody who's been sending me emails, and I had a couple people sending me actual pictures of their account and how well they're doing with the personal economic series, how much money they made so far. This is what it's about. So, you have a lot of people who have ulterior motives and putting out information. It's one of the reasons why I was up front. When I started putting the stuff out was upon request. People wanted the information. People wanted the DVDs. Nothing to do with money. As I said, I was already rich before I started doing this. I already had money. I already had my plan in place. I went through my ups and downs and my studying and everything like that and struggles or what have you, and persevered. So I know what it took and what I did and what happened and what got me to where I'm at. And if it wasn't meditation, if it wasn't what I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't even come out here and put this kind of information out there if I didn't know it worked for myself. People who I know, who follow, friends of mine who follow what I talk about, successful. And that's who I keep around me. Anybody who knows me, I tell you, when they come into my life, if I allow them in, when we talk, the first thing I ask is, what do you want to do with yourself? What do you want? And help them go get it. So people who I come in contact with, who we connect, I make sure they are headed towards success and that they are working hard to do that. And there's a lot of people who know me who'll tell you that's exactly how I am. And that's exactly what I want for you guys to put that work in, to get this ghetto ass shit out your brain and its programming and switch it. Program yourself to do what you want and get rid of this crap. This stuff you've seen on TV and everything they're programming you with, because it's altering you, it's changing you, it's causing you to think different ways. I've seen so many people flip-flop, as far as beliefs and their personal feelings about things because of mainstream media or because of what was popular. And some of you may be doing that and you're not even aware that you're doing it. So a lot of people, as I said, we cheat ourselves. We cheat, we sell out who we really are to fit in. We sell out who we really are for money. People sell out who they really are for attention, for a like. And this is what you're going to have addressed to you in meditation, and you're going to have to deal with it. And you're going to have to get through it. And you have to create a plan for yourself to follow that's going to lead you to success and where you want to be. Motivational speakers can put a lot of motivation into you and get you hype and crump for a little bit. But when you get back to your life, that stuff is going to be gone. I mean, where is it? Now, if you're programming yourself to deal with your life, and your everyday, your daily, then that's what's going to take you to success. It's not going to be what somebody else is saying to you. Regardless of how motivational or inspirational it may sound, hold on to that, because you might can draw on it later. But when it comes crunch time, when it's real and it's you dealing with this, you're not going to be thinking about that person in the back of your ear, because they're not going to be right there to help you out. It's just going to be you. So again, if you program yourself correctly, it's not going to be a problem. So now I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and thanks to everybody who supported and bought the last 2 DVDs that's out. Again, I put this information out for a reason, as I always say. It's for people to really get this information. I'm finding, now a lot of people who really watch the videos always, they give their feedback and everything. There's a lot of people who had the videos for a while that haven't watched them, and then when they watch them, they be so shocked at the information. Not trying to, toot my own horn or what have you, but trust me, you're not going to find it. And you guys who watch you're not going to find this stuff on the internet. It's not nobody putting out the kind of information that I put out, because if it was, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. It's a lot deeper than what a lot of people realize. And so this is one of the things you're going to find out as you start getting into a lot of the information that I put out. But again, the meditation is the key. It's the key in the Bible, where he's stressing so much. Prayer. We understand the metaphor is meditation, going within the pineal gland. Everything, as I talked about, is so much deeper than people realize. And again, you have a lot of people who are just, trying to get on the bandwagon of consciousness and trying to fit into the whole movement. We had, Black Panther come out, so you're having a lot more black folks all of a sudden now want to be attached to their African, their blackness. You even have Hebrews trying to, jump on to the whole bandwagon with Black Panther and draw it into, Hebrews. I got a video coming up on Hebrew Israelites soon. So another one. Yeah, I know. So, it's a lot. It's a lot of information out there. It's a lot of people putting out stuff. It's really up to you to, as I always tell you guys, do your own research and to really know what you want from meditation. It's a lot more to it than sitting with your legs folded, closing your eyes, and daydreaming. To what end? For what? What do you hope to accomplish in meditation? There is a physical aspect you must pass first before the spiritual begins. So once you get that out the way and you're done dealing with it, the healing begins. Plain and simple. You start healing your body. You start, energetically opening up, so many things that you need, that is dormant, that you're going to need to help you, rise as far as Kundalini, getting that energy and opening that third eye. But it begins with the physical. How can you ever hope to achieve any of this stuff, to be truly spiritual, if you stuck dealing with a goddamn electric bill, a phone bill, a cable bill? How you hope to be free and to do anything if you dealing with this material world? You stuck. You gotta go to work. Damn, I gotta go to work. I can't do this. I gotta go to work. That's a stress. That's pain. This is what the Buddhist is trying to tell you. This pain is not so much you wanting, it's you having to deal with life. And that's what Buddhism talks about. That's why I got into it in the series. You have to deal with that pain. The pain, I got to get up and go to work. My goodness, got to deal with traffic. Got to get on this damn bus. This pain. Now, you may have adapted to it and have come to the point where it's normal, but it's still a pain. It's something that you do not want to do, that's taken away from your true purpose. Your purpose on this planet is not to pay bills and die. It's not to work and die. Plain and simple. Went through all this. Understand what's going on and what these people have effectively done to you and to all of us, and beat it. I have beaten it. I'm trying to help you guys beat it and win. This shit is not about money. I have enough. I'm cool. You don't see no Bentleys or nothing behind me like that. I'm not that type of person, even though I am about to buy a Bentley, by the way. But so I scratched that from the record, but it's because it's a good price and I like the car. But it's not about that. It's not about money. It's not about all that stuff, man. It's just, if it's about beating them, it's about beating them seriously. And they've beaten us so well, so since I've figured out, what we need to do and how we can bypass this system, I felt compelled to put out the information to help you guys get to where I'm at and better in your lives. Because as I said, we're not going to come together as a people. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You know it, I know it. It's not going to happen. Religion, ego's a problem. But if we as individuals consciously get our shit together, as I always say, then we will excel. And it's almost covertly us as individuals not coming together in large groups and rah, and bigging each other up like we doing something, when we're going to get all hype and walk and march and then everybody going to go back home and go work for the white man. What the fuck is the point? So if you individually, if you focus on yourself and get your shit together and get to where you need to be and be successful, bam, it's a trickle down effect. As I always say, generational wealth begins with mom and dad. So now that you got wealthy, your kids will be wealthy, so on and so forth. And if each of us do that as individuals, as well as be conscious and understand what's going on, that unity will be automatic because we all going to be on the same level. It's up to you. Do what you need to do. Don't let nobody talk you out of your dream and anything that you want to do. There are levels in everything that you do, no matter what it is. Trust me, there are ways that you need to figure out and understand it first. And it's dealing with the material, and you got to get through that before you start moving anywhere up that level and getting anywhere near Kundalini rising and really understanding what true energy is. And you'll see the difference. You'll start to dream about what you want because you've meditated on it so much. Your subconscious will project that into in the dream world, and you'll start dreaming about it. That's another way you're going to know that it's working. It takes time. You got to do it daily, 20 minutes a day at least. Meditate. I meditate for hours. So you'll get to that point one of these days. But you'll see it work. I'm living proof. I have hundreds of people that's also living proof that'll tell you it works, and it can work for you, and it's up to you. You don't got to buy the DVD to learn how to meditate. I just gave you everything right here for free. Boom. Take the information, use it, do it, and educate yourself. Plain and simple. But again, thanks to everybody for taking the time to watch, and see you guys next video.